Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to start a new chapter called Biological Classification. Before going deep into this chapter, let me explain what is biological classification. Here we can see the two scientific terms, that is biological classification. So first let me take the term biological. Here we can see two words, that is bio plus logical. Here bio means living things and logical means with logic. Classification means grouping the certain organisms or random things. So combining these two terms, we can say that classifying the living organisms is called biological classification. Here there is a basic question: why we need to classify living beings or living things? So if you are following me from previous classes, you will have an idea why we need to classify organisms and what are the benefits of classifying organisms. So let me repeat that points here once again. Biological classification, why we need to do biological classification means because there will be a random living organisms. So to understand their food habits, their reproduction pattern and their evolutionary relationships and easily identifying. So if we classify organisms based on certain these characters, we can easily identify, and if we found a new organism, we can easily classify or categorize that newly found species into different categories, so that we can characterize that newly found species. That is the importance of biological classification. So in this chapter we will going to learn how the biological classification started and how this biological classification got evolved. So from the civilization, so when man got little bit of intelligence, he started to see around the living organisms. He started to see the surrounding environment. There he saw the different kind of organisms, and he questioned himself and tried to classify that organisms around him or her. So basically, in olden days, long back, classification was done on instinctively. That means born out of a need to use organisms for our own purpose, like food, shelter and clothing. That means that classification was based on our needs. Suppose there are so many organisms. How we going to classify based on our needs? Suppose if we want food, so with respect to food, we will generally eat sheep, not lion. If can I eat lion? I don't think it is a general meat to eat. So generally we human beings consume mutton, that is the meat of sheep. So we gave importance to the sheep, and for lion we did not give that much importance with respect to food. So like that we gave certain importance and we classified. So these are the very important organisms, like livestock. These are all organisms classified based on our need, that is food. Then shelter. So if you take a certain plants, they will give very good raw materials for making in our shelter. In olden days we used to make sheltering home from the forest products, so which will give very good raw material to making a house, that are very important to us, and they given very much importance. And rest of them we didn't feel that are that much important for us. And then clothing. So basically in olden days, for clothing we are dependent on animals only. So we will going to hunt that animals, that means the primitive man was hunting the animals and he skin out and used to wear that skin as a cloth. So from there only the evolution of cloth has happened till today. So basically in olden days the classification was based on our need, that is based on food, shelter and clothing, but instinctively is not based on the scientific method. That means this is not based on scientific method, this was random based on our choice and our need. Then here comes a hero, that is Aristotle. So he's a basically Greek philosopher. He is the first person to use scientific method to classify the living organisms. So he was the first person basically. So he used simple morphological characters to classify the organisms. So here you may ask, what is morphological characters? Morphological characters means it is very simple. So whatever the physical features we see from our naked eyes, that all are morphological characters. Let me give you an example. So we can daily see the street dogs. Street dogs have four legs and it has very long teeth and very good teeth for biting. In our present days, dogs are very notorious in biting human beings, and then they they bark. So and we can actually identify their colors. So these are all external features we can see through our naked eyes. So these are called morphological characters. So I think you understood what is morphological characters. So here Aristotle used simple morphological characters to classify organisms. Okay, in plants. So in plants and animals. So let me explain you how he classified plants and animals into different groups. For plants, he classified into three groups, that is trees, then shrubs, then herbs. So let me explain what are these three terms. So trees, shrubs, herbs. What are these? We have seen plenty of plants in our daily life. So trees means generally they will have very long structure. That means they have more than 12 feet height, and they have many year of lifespan, and they will have branches and they are woody. Then compared to trees, shrubs will have medium height, means less than trees. Okay, let me assume 6 feet, and they are mid size, and they will have woody but they are flexible. We can bend that branches, but they are woody, whereas in the case of trees they are woody but not flexible. So for trees, example is banyan tree, mango tree, etc, etc. Shrubs, generally they are rose plants, hibiscus, tulsi. These are all come under shrubs category, and they will have many years of lifespan but less than trees. And the last comes herbs. They are very small in height, like 3 feet, and they are they are very much less compared to, with respect to height, they are very less compared to shrubs, and they are very green, non branches, and they will have stem. So generally they will don't have many stems. I think they will have only one stem and very greenery, and they will have only 1 year of lifespan, 2 years of lifespan. After that they will die. So if we compare this trees will have more height, more lifespan. Compared to trees, shrubs will have less height but greater than herbs, less than trees, and they are medium in size, and they will have lifespan but compared to trees less but more than herbs. Herbs are very less in height and they are live only for 1 year, 2 year generally, and they are very greenery and they are non-branches, non-woody. Means they don't have any branches or woods. So these three groups made by the Aristotle. So basically Aristotle used simple morphological characters on plants. As a result of this, he categorized plants into three groups, that is trees, shrubs, herbs. And I also told you what is the difference between trees, shrubs, herbs. If you have any doubt regarding this, please comment below. I will once again explain this. Then here comes animals. He is simply divided into two categories. One is having red blood, one is not having red blood. So basically he classified into two categories. One type of category animals which have red blood, these are all comes under one category. In another category, those do not have red blood all comes under another category. These are the basic two categories. So red blood, we all have red blood, and our surrounding animals also generally have red blood. And there are animals also which do not possess red blood. So uh, red blood. So these are basic two categories made by the Aristotle. Let me once again explain you. So here comes the important person, Aristotle, because he was the first person to use the scientific method to classify living organisms. He used, this is very important, he used simple morphological characters to classify organisms. So, and then there are two kingdoms, plants and animals. For plants, he categorized into three categories: trees, shrubs, herbs. So these are three categories. Then animals, he categorized into two groups. One is animals which have red blood and another one is animals do not have red blood. So this is the classification made by the Aristotle. So I hope you understood the concept and also importance of Aristotle and his scientific method and that method's outcome.